This video is brought to you by
Hexbound.com from Hitpoint Press, a witchy supplement for 5e.
Hello and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. Today we've got the next set of deep cuts unpainted minis from WizKids. This is Vikings. Many thanks to our friends at WizKids for sending it to us to review. I don't have the retail box to show you, but here are some images of it so you can know what to look for in the stores. Vikings is out now and has an MSRP of about $30, though you can probably find it a little bit cheaper if you shop around. The set contains quite a few townsfolk and some scattered terrain that should work well for all your fantasy tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder. If you like to have encounters in towns or villages that are well populated, then this set will help you achieve that goal for not a lot of money. So let's take a closer look at this set. In this set, you receive 8 regular minis, including a free woman, a female Viking guard, a standing earl, and a peasant servant. Note that all the minis in this set do come with regular black bases that you can attach yourself. Some folks like to paint the minis before attaching them to the base. The peasant servant here is a little bit bent. This sort of thing is easily fixed by placing him under some hot tap water until he's pliable, bending him gently back into shape, and then dunking him into some ice water while holding him in the correct position until the plastic sets. Next, we have a freeman, a peasant farmhand, a peasant craftsman, and a male Viking guard. You'll note that the unpainted minis from WizKids do come with a little bit of terrain to stand on. When we look at our premium painted minis for D&D and Pathfinder, you'll notice that they also have that little bit of terrain underneath them because they started their little mini lives as unpainted minis too. Next, we have a seated version of the Earl as well as his throne. He is removable from the throne, so you can switch this mini out with the standing one from earlier during gameplay. He is a little bit thick, so you'll have to give him a little extra nudge to get him fully seated. Now, as you may know, I like to play musical chairs with the seated minis that we've collected over the years, and there haven't really been that many. These are all from Pathfinder Battles. We have the King and Queen from the Crown of Fangs Court of the Crimson Throne set. You can see that review by clicking the eye in the corner of your screen. Next, we have the Goblin Chief from the amazing Legendary Adventures Goblin Village set. Now that review is up in the eye if you'd like to see it. You can tell that this is one of the better thrones that we've gotten so far, and all members of the royalty fit pretty well on it. Our Earl, though, is a little bit too chunky to make the other thrones work for him. Moving on here. Next, we have the fur-covered benches and the long table. I really dig the added furs, which make these fit well in a winter setting. These are really perfect for your Icewind Dale adventures. The furs are not removable from the table or the benches, though. Here we have the mead barrel and the mead barrel stand. These are 2 separate pieces, and you do get 2 of each. Very helpful if your barbarian wants to bash someone in the head with one of those barrels. We also have a fire pit with some translucency and a meat spit, which you can place across the fire pit if you like. Here we have our 8 shields, which arrive on sprues, so you'll need to bend and twist them off. These can be used in 2 ways in this set, which I'll show you here shortly. First, we have our 2 carved wooden pillars. You'll notice that there are 4 holes on each pillar, and if you like, you can slot your shields into them for decoration. These look pretty great flanking the Earl and his throne. Or, if you prefer, you can use the shields on these tiny but handy little shield stands. You'll need a steady hand to put the little tiny shields into the tiny little stands without knocking it all over, but once you do, you can safely store 2 shields on each stand. These look great next to the Craftsman Mini, who seems to be working on making a great big grand shield. And here you can see the whole set in context on some Dwarven Forge City Builder terrain and on some WizKids Warlock Tiles Dungeon Tiles 1 terrain. As you can see, you get enough scattered terrain and minis to really fill out a scene. I really dig this set as it gives you quite a few generic minis and furniture that will fit in well with many different fantasy-based settings, but it definitely has an added northern touch to make them feel especially at home in a place with a winter climate, which is useful right now as you might be running Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. You may also find these useful for Storm King's Thunder, which also has a large presence in Icewind Dale. And I'm always just happy to get more and more generic townsfolk to fill out a big city scene in my games. Townsfolk Mini can be a little hard to come by sometimes, so I'm really happy that this set includes so many. Again, the Viking set isn't part of the 4D settings line, so it lacks some of the pizzazz of that line, which sometimes features LEDs or other interactable objects. But that does mean that the Viking set has a slightly lower price point than most of those 4D settings products, coming in at just $30 or less if you shop around. So let me know what you think of the set in the comments section down below. I'm always interested to hear if you can think of alternative uses for any of these pieces as well, so leave those ideas for me down below too if you would. We want to thank our sponsors for this video.
First, Hexbound by Hit Point Press and Antonio Demico, the creator of Dragon Stew. You know Hit Point Press from Humblewood, Heckna, and the Big Bad booklet series. Hexbound is a witchy supplement for 5th edition that's live right now on Kickstarter. Hexbound lets you enhance your characters with new subclasses that allow you to make some incredibly diverse witches. You'll be able to sling spells, brew potions, and even punch spirits into the bodies of your enemies. Hexbound also provides you with new spells, witch familiars, backgrounds, a mobile app, and more. You can learn more at hexbound.com, but if you use the link up in the eye in the corner of your screen or the video description down below, they'll know that we here at the Gallant Goblin sent you. And if you decide to back them, maybe consider giving us here at the Gallant Goblin a little shout out in their comment section of the Kickstarter. All that goes a long way to keeping us in business here.
And of course, many thanks to you as well for joining me today. Lots of goodies to look forward to in the new year, and I can't wait to share them with you. If you enjoyed today's video, you can help me out by clicking the little thumbs up button down below and becoming a subscriber. You can always find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's a wrap for me today. I hope you're doing well out there. Please take care, stay safe, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.